Za and I, for those of you who don't know, work together on, and I'm going to let you talk in a second, Za. Worked together on Barstool Breakfast for 3 years. We were the OG Control Room boys. We've screamed at each other. We've yelled at each other. We've gotten in fights. Za is someone here, but we love each other at the end of the day, at least I think. Za is someone here who I consider myself very close to because we've spent a lot of time together. Za is from Zimbabwe. Za came to this country to go to school. He's been here for how long?
Shit. Here in the States
In
or
the
here in
States.
New York? In the States, it's not. What year are we in?
2021.
2021. So that's 11 years now.
11 years. You're what, 30 years
11
old?
Years going, round about there. 30.
Za's about 30. You won't tell us your actual age. Za's 30 years old. So the thing that I like about Za is that not only is he a good guy, he sees things differently, and he's much more cultured than a lot of the people that you'll get, not just at Barstool, but people that you meet in your everyday life. He's been to different parts of the world. He sees things through a different lens, especially being from Zimbabwe. And one of the things that he's always said to me on this show, or when we would talk in the morning, we do the show from 7 to 9, was that, you know, it's different. Things are different with gay people in Africa. People don't fuck around where I'm from. You know, things are handled differently. And I've noticed and known that in different parts of the world, people react to homosexuality in different ways, whether that be legislatively through laws and through government, whether that be culturally, whether it be in your family, familially, if that's a word. So Za's here today to shed a little bit of light on the way that things are handled in Zimbabwe, where he's from, some of his personal experiences, and I'm also going to ask him a little bit about how he has experienced life as a little person, both in Zimbabwe.
Oh shit, we're doing that
In Zimbabwe and America, and the differences between the two. Because I just think it's I think it's fascinating, and I think parallels can be drawn between. This might be a stretch, it might not be. Being a gay person and being looked at a certain way, and also being a little person
Parallels can be drawn.
and being looked
I'm
at
with you on that one.
a certain way. So just really quick,
I think.
I'm going to read out a few facts here that I found online. Of the 54 states recognized by the United Nations or African Union, or both, the International Gay and Lesbian Association stated in 2005 that homosexuality is outlawed in 34 African countries. Since 2011, some developed countries in Africa have been considering or implementing laws that limit or prohibit general budget support to countries that restrict the rights of LGBTQ people. So that's a good thing. Somalia. Zai, you're going to read these countries because I don't want to fuck them up.
Wait, where are we at? All right, so we got Somalia, Somaliland, Mauritania, and northern Nigeria.
In all those countries, homosexuality is punishable by death. In Uganda, Tanzania, Sierra Leone, offenders can receive a lifetime imprisonment for homosexual acts. Although the law is not enforced in Sierra Leone, allegedly. In addition to criminalizing homosexuality, Nigeria has enacted legislation that would make it illegal for heterosexual family members, allies, and friends of LGBTQ people to be supported. South Africa is the most liberal place towards gays and lesbians. The country actually has legalized same-sex marriage and has in its constitution that guarantees gay and lesbians' rights and protections. Whether that's implemented and how it's implemented is a different conversation. Za, having said all that, I want to first ask, thank you for being here.
All right, before we get into that,
Yeah.
can we talk about that? The thank you for being here
Yep,
part.
of
By
course.
the way, I've been hounding ever since Pat started this thing. I have been hounding him. I have never, you know what? I have never begged anyone at this place to get on their show. I have been hounding Pat ever since he launched this to get on here.
Well, here you
and
are.
I finally get on. So it is an honor. It is an honor, and I am so happy to be here. That's the one oblo that I am happy to do.
I appreciate that,
I just wanted the people to know that I've been chasing you to do.
I appreciate that, cousin producer. And, you know, it's you're a good friend of mine, which is unlikely considering everything I just read about the way that gays are treated in Africa.
That's the funny part. That's why I'm here to open
Have you
open things up.
Let's say I came out at 22. Let's say I came out in Zimbabwe in your hometown when I was in 10th grade in high school. How would I be received?
All right, so let's circle back a little bit. Go back into the historical. Actually, let me not even do that. I'll go.
Do it.
I'm not.
Take
I'm
your
not
time.
much of. I'm not much of a facts guy. I'm more of a feel. I'm on the streets kind of thing.
Yeah.
So So where I think it started getting it started getting serious attention is when the colonizers brought the Bible along, and the beliefs, the Christianity beliefs started seeping into society and all that. And that's where I don't know what the hell was going on before that, back before people came to the continent and all that. But that's when pretty much, the as you guys say, the line was drawn in the sand here, because in Christianity, we're not going to get into that. People know if you're Christian, you know what the Christianity beliefs are. If you're not, look up the Bible or something, kind of deal. So that's when it got the line in the sand was drawn. Religion is a big, 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 big part of our society, and ever since then, man, we've been stuck. In those ways. Our society has been, is behind. We have different beliefs to you guys. So, for example, it's a capitalistic society here, whereas in Africa you'll find more socialism. Socialism is the more prevalent way of life round about there. So fast forwarding with the whole
Fast forwarding 1,000 years.
it being ingrained with the whole Christianity, and you coming out to now. What's happening now is because of globalization, and because countries' borders are opening up. Because for example, the two Donnies can now fly into Zimbabwe and shoot a vlog in Zimbabwe and stuff like that. People are getting to learn about other societies,
Western
other
values,
cultures,
blah,
how
blah, blah.
other people think, and all that nonsense. And because of that, I live in a very liberal city. I live in the biggest city in Zimbabwe. Grew up in, I live now here, but you get what I
What
mean.
city?
Harare, Zimbabwe. It's the biggest city in Zimbabwe.
How many people?
Harare, I believe, has I'd say probably about 3-4 million people.
So
Massive city.
It's a big city.
It's a massive city.
There's like Western values. It's more global, so people bring in their more liberal
there
beliefs.
We go, because it's a big city, it attracts the business and more different type of people and all that. So it's a bit more open in Harare, whereas if you step out of the cities, it's unacceptable.
So you've always put things online. You've been like, here's the city. It's like semi-modern or modern, whatever. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to the village, and it's like a short like car ride away. Like you're like in the sticks, like for lack of a better word. How would I, as a 10th grade kid coming out of the closet, how would they be accepted and viewed in the city versus how would they be viewed in the village?
So touched on the city. Where it gets tricky is, as we say, we're very cultural. We're very cultural people. We're in touch with our cultures and societies and all that. So we maintain cultural values. When you now start getting into the areas, and getting with people that are deep ingrained in that African culture, that's when it becomes tricky. You hear of nasty shit of, I'm not saying I prescribe to this or I believe in this or whatever.
Of course
I'm
not.
just saying, what happens. You hear of nasty shit of people being beaten to death.
Yeah.
To death, and disgusting shit happening just because of their sexual preferences, because people's minds are so behind. They haven't been exposed to a different way of life. They're stuck in these rural villages where you're still living like you did for the past 300, 400 billion years, because,
Did you know any gay kids in your high school?
Not officially. So, yes, the cities are liberal in their sense. Oh, sorry, whoops, I'm very handsy when I'm talking. Yes, the cities are liberal, and all that, but we still have our beliefs as a culture, as a society, and all that. So back when I was in high school, which is the early 2000s.
Yeah. When did you graduate? 07?
I graduated. I left Pete House. Oh wait.
Oh wait. All
I
right.
left Pete House. 09. Wait, no. When was I Form 6? 08. 09. So left Pete House then. Back when I was in there, it was getting a bit better, as opposed to earlier when I started like elementary and middle school and all. But it's still society amongst my friends.
No one, right?
No one came out. I mean, I'm not gonna fucking start saying that we suspected here and there and all that, because that's.
But if you
just not the
suspected,
right
would
thing.
stuff be like? Would people be like
That's
shit
what-
on?
and that's why people didn't come out.
Because even if you suspected someone of being gay, you would shit on them.
Yep.
And it wasn't just kids shitting on kids and adults saying don't do that. The adults were like, that's fine.
It was it's a societal, because that's the way we think. That's in our culture. In our culture, it's as sad and as bad as this is to say. People are different. You just gotta have to accept that. But in our culture, that is bad.
Now, when you came
Kind
to
of
the when you came to the United States, did you make any gay friends? I feel like for a lot of people here, I was the first gay person they actually knew.
So I was fortunate enough, and I always say this as a joke, that out of Zimbabwean kids in Zimbabwe, or the people that come out of the part of the world that I came out of, I'm one of the few that. Well, I mean, there's many, but I consider I won the genetic lottery, right? So I was able to. Not only I'm very deep and into our culture, I'm Zimbabwean as hell,
Yeah.
but through winning the genetic lottery, I was able to grow up with an open mind and was exposed to different cultures. As you mentioned, that I've been to a billion countries. Well, not a billion, but I've been to multiple places. Got to feel and interact with multiple different cultures. So I never had an issue myself, and I'm very aware that I am one of the very fortunate out of the population that thinks this way. And it's just our society is very backward looking.
You say genetic lottery. It's interesting because you are a little person.
Okay, so we're transitioning.
No, no. Is that all right if we talk about this? Just because I think
there anything you can
there are
ask me
parallels
anything if I'm
between the
not.
two. Did you get shit on for being a little person as a kid?
Yeah. Anything in life, if you don't conform, if you're not average,
Right.
if you're not average, you're gonna stand out, and especially with me, where I run into, unlike your situation, right, and I mean this in the kindest way.
Yeah,
by the way.
dude, it's whatever.
Unlike your situation with homosexuality, with me, the only trouble I have now is with kids, because kids just don't know any better.
They have
which
no filter.
I am okay with kids. Kids just don't know any better. You can't be thing. But it's when adults come, and so as a kid, I got bullied because everyone else was getting, and you could tell, actually. You could tell if you look at the pictures. You can tell exactly when other kids started to shoot up, and the difference started. So it was around about when I was 8.
When did you
8 or 9.
realize?
It was roundabout when I was 8 or 9, where I'm trying to be eighth man in rugby.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be an eighth man in rugby, and then
Yep.
the coach comes to you and be like, "Hey, you're a bit too small for that position," kind of deal.
And then you were like,
So that's
oh,
when
fuck.
it started seeping through. All of a sudden, one year in the pool, I was a swimmer growing up. 1 year in the pool, right? Our kick strength, me and a fellow swimmer, was
Right.
pretty much at the same level, but because his foot is growing and his leg is growing, that starts getting bigger. So it was through sports that I decided that I started to notice and all that.
Was there a period of anger where you were like, "What the fuck? Why did this happen to me?" Or were
confusion.
you always
I
just-
mean, I feel like you went through that too.
Of course,
Right? Yeah, you
yeah.
went through that too. It happened. It was a tough period too. It was a tough period. I was very young, and that's what's fucked, is that for me it happened when I was very young, where emotionally and mentally
Formative
and
years.
emotionally, I don't know how to deal with anything in life, type of deal. And here I'm trying to, I'm getting puberty, you're having puberty going on, a lot of shit's going on. Then a fucking little kid is, you're so short, kind of thing. That's
What did
an
your
extra
parents
thing
say
on the
to
thing.
you?
My parents were very supportive to the point where it kind of sucks, especially like with like my mom, when
Yeah.
I would get, I don't know why I'm saying this, but you get the thing. But with my mom, when I'd get bullied, she would, I think there was an incident, if I remember correctly. I was 8 years old at 9 years old at aerial school, and some kid bullied me. Took and my mom did not take that very well. She wanted to go kill the teachers.
What did he
and
say?
all that, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was the whole picking on. What kids do, the
And
whole
it got
picking
brought
on.
up to the teachers. Your mom
Take
found
your
out.
hat, take your hat, and all that. So someone else saw him, brought it up to the teachers, and also, I mean, I was upset. I went and I told my parents,
Of
kind
course.
of deal, and my mom was like, she wasn't having that. But I mean, you live, you learn. It builds. I believe, these are my personal beliefs. It builds character, man. It's life. Life ain't easy. Life
If
ain't
you
easy
could
for
live a
everybody.
life as a average sized person, would you do it, or would you?
Absolutely not.
That's
ab-
funny. That's funny you say that because people ask me all the time.
Yeah,
They're like, if you could be straight, would you? I'm like, fuck that.
yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. I don't know if it's
Absolutely
because-
not. You mean.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's. I don't know if my answer would have been the same if you. Actually, my answer would have been the same if you'd asked me this 20. I'd say about 20. Actually, no, 20 years ago. No.
You're 31, 30.
Yeah. So my answer would have been the same. From about when I turned about 2021, and it's gotten even more, especially because the industry that we're in and all that. You got to stand out somehow as a human.
Right.
If you conform and all that, write out the negatives, of which the older you get, it's, as I said, in my situation, unlike your situation where you're dealing with a whole society. In my situation, I'm only dealing with kids.
I never.
You
It's
just
funny.
write
Like
it out.
I never realized that you were like. For me, it's just like, oh, this is like whatever. Like
Yeah.
I don't see like your height, or I don't like see like your skin color. But the only time I ever did was when we went to a PBR, like a PBR bull riding event. You remember that? And the guy,
Oh yeah,
and the
that
guy
was
at the
Jesse-
PBR
Jesse Lockwood.
the guy at the PBR
Yeah.
bull riding event like wouldn't let
Yeah.
Za like stand in a certain area to see,
Yeah.
and you were so mad, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh
I mean,
fuck.
I was a little drunk. That's
Yeah,
why
I was
mad,
like,
but
oh,
that's why I
shit.
was mad, but
This is the only time I've ever really noticed. I'm like, Za is different.
but yeah, no, it's and I, as you said too, I don't notice. I don't notice because this is my life. This is what I've
Right.
been doing for ever since I graced the planet, and I only notice when it's brought up. So the more it's brought up and stuff like people staring and stuff like that, that's when you're like, oh shit, all right, that's probably why they're staring, kind of deal. But
Would you? What if you were a gay little person and you hit
that's a no. That's because
Nah,
I
that'd be
mean
tough.
I my upbringing I loved, man. I loved growing up in Zimbabwe. I loved the values and how it molded my life. So I'd want the same upbringing and add the gay equation to it. That's tough.
throw
That's-
some
that's tough.
throw some red hair
That's
on you
tough. Oh, that would be tough. But
and
here,
make you a
if
female.
If you ask me 2020, being born in 2020 here, I mean,
Yeah.
I would absolutely do that.
Yeah.
I'd absolutely take it because society is becoming
You think-
more open to
You think
minorities and all.
they actually enforce that punishable by death?
They
I kind of want to
yeah,
like go to
I-
a country where it's like illegal to hook up with a guy and like do it. Like that might be my kink.
I don't want to. It's the thing is, I need to watch not really watch what I say, but I don't want to get people too upset.
We don't have to get too
give it-
political. I mean, it happens.
Not
It's
even
just
not
fucking
not
wild.
political, but the thing is, when you start saying shit like this, right?
Yeah.
You'll get clipped up. Put on the internet. Oh, this is what happens in Zimbabwe, and then all of a sudden, no
Right.
one wants to go visit such a beautiful country and all that. But it's there's some places that.
If you saw someone in Zimbabwe being bullied for being gay, would you feel comfortable enough? And obviously, there's a size difference of the threat of physical violence. Would you feel comfortable enough if you're in a public place to say something? Yeah.
It's changing. Times are changing. Times
Yeah.
are the internet. The internet's done wonders for. Though we are the thing is, so times are we're I'll say we're. They say economically, the U.S. if the U.S. was to stop at where it's at today, where it's at in terms of technology, economic levels, it'll take the continent probably about 150, 200 years to catch up.
Oof.
Culturally, I think it's happening a whole lot faster because the
internet.
capitalistic and also the capitalistic
the internet.
the internet and the capitalistic nature of this place is you export your values. You use, for example, I was jerking off to a young 8-year-old Za was jerking. Oh, sorry, Alana. Young 8-year-old Za was jerking off to fucking Pamela Anderson when he was. So you export your culture
Right.
very well. We're learning, and then the movies too. They help. That teaches you about.
You ever
how
hear the
life
thing
is
that
and
like
all.
we should just drop a bunch of iPhones into North Korea or like any of these countries
You
that are
should.
behind? Why don't we just do why don't we just do a plane load of iPhones? Just drop 100,000 iPhones with internet right into the most like isolated country there is, and then they'll get that, and it'll just be a revolution.
Boom! They'll be up on Twitter, tweeting out, setting periscopes, lives, and all that. But it's-
Let's talk about HelloFresh real quick, Za.
Sure.
HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. What were you gonna say?
I was like, yes, sir. Let's talk about HelloFresh.
HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh cuts out the stressful meal planning and grocery store trips so you can enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in just about 30 minutes or less. HelloFresh offers 50 menu and market items each week, including ready-to-go salads, sandwiches, and soups. There's something for everyone to enjoy, with all recipes designed and tested by professional chefs and nutritional experts to ensure deliciousness and simplicity. It's 28% cheaper than shopping at your local grocery store, and on average 72% cheaper than a restaurant meal without sacrificing the quality. I fucking hate cooking more than anything in the world. I'm lazy as hell. They send me this stuff, and it's like not only tolerable, it's good, and it saves me money.
You just throw it in the microwave and boom.
Well, you cook it, so they tell you that like what you
Oh,
actually
they tell
need.
you what to do.
Get
That's
this
what I
pan,
need.
get this measuring stuff.
That's what I need. Because I don't know nothing.
Well, you can get it at HelloFresh, Zod. Right
Okay.
now, my listeners can go to HelloFresh.com/OutandAbout14 and use code OutandAbout14 for 14 free meals plus shipping. That's at least a week worth of shit, because chances are you probably eat breakfast on the go like me. You got
Yep.
lunch at work, and some of them are frozen, so you freeze the meat ones, you save those. It's great. I love doing it. So
I eat
again,
twice a day, so that's 7 days right
you only eat twice a day?
there. Absolutely.
Why don't you eat 3 times?
Breakfast is for suckers.
You never ate.
I
You ate
eat-
breakfast when we did Barstool breakfast.
I used to eat the muffins. The muffins.
Yeah,
that
you
day.
do. You
the
fucking-
fat boy muffins
You
in the
you
back.
pig. We'll get some healthy food from HelloFresh. Go to HelloFresh.com/OutandAbout14 for 14 free meals plus shipping, plus free shipping, excuse me. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. They have any gay bars in Zimbabwe?
No.
What a transition.
Actually, I just heard of in the group chat. So it's not an official bar. It was I guess the equivalent of a house party.
Yeah.
They're starting to do those.
They're just starting to do house parties?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. That the culture is what's it called? Is seeping through now. So like the
like gay
drag-
house parties, they don't. That's a
drag,
risky
there was
thing
drag,
to do.
The costume shit
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
that. It's Pat. When I say people don't fuck around there, if you get like a hardliner, that's crazy. They don't, and the law. So our president, our previous, I don't want to get political, but our
Do
previous,
it. Get political, and then I'm gonna tweet at Zimbabwe. At Zimbabwe.
Our previous president, Mugabe, was. I think we probably have. I mean, as I said, I'm not a facts guy, but
Yeah.
based off feel and based off the streets, we probably have one of the some of the tougher gay laws and the thing. He was like no gay.
So you say, tell me more about this chat that you said there's house parties, gay house parties.
Oh yeah, so it's people are now forming. So this, you know how communities
Yeah.
form and what's it called. So initially you're by yourself, you're isolated, then you discover that, oh shit, I'm not the only one that feels this way.
Right.
There's another person, and you can't really do it publicly. It's not yet in law, and it's not yet
That's fucking
it's not yet
wild.
accepted in your culture. So it starts off small, where it starts, you're just hanging out, interacting with gay people. So we're at the stage where it's not happening at clubs, but if you throw you can throw a party and you hit up your boys on the thing and pull through, and we have
Goddamn.
some fun.
Maybe that's the next rediscovering Zimbabwe.
Go
I go
try
to
the
underground gay
like
parties
Donnie,
all across
like
the.
how Donnie did with the mole people. You go find the parties, the hottest gay party, and not out
that
of
that
People
is
need
wi-
that.
that is wild. It's crazy because my feed is obviously curated towards like gay stuff, and you
Yeah.
do see this rise in anti-homosexual sentiment across the country. You see it a lot in Eastern Europe, in obviously Chechnya, Spain. There was
Yeah.
that attack, and we don't want to get too fucking morbid. So it's nice to have someone on to actually like.
And that's what's bad is if you're so you're creating. If you're so against something that that people against a minority type of thing, you're creating a disaster. You're creating a mess for
Yeah.
to the people who are in that minority group their lives are miserable pretty much.
Well, Zah, it's been real getting your perspective on this. It's been
thank you.
a long time overdue. Some weird topics today, but I found them both pretty interesting. I didn't know Large knew that much about Dolly Parton.
Yeah, that was pretty. Actually, wait, hold on. Can I ask you? I got a couple.
Ask away.
How was your? Actually, I've kind of heard it. I guess from Phyllis. How was that? The friends groups wise. So I've heard your mom's. Angle.
Yeah.
How were you when you came out to your friends? How did
Oh,
they
they
take
were
it?
fine. I was just afraid.
How
you
was
know.
your? Yeah. How was your? What was your? So that was in college, right? Was that college or high
After
school?
college, yeah.
After college, and you're from Massachusetts, the area
The
that
libs.
the area that you are is fairly liberal. You didn't lose any. Did you lose any friends?
Not really. Temporarily, a couple, but they came back.
Did they change? Did you feel from your side? Did you feel that they changed the way they looked at you, the way they acted
Initially,
around you?
yeah.
And how did that make you feel? Was that for the good or for?
It was fine. I think that everyone has to accept it and grow. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it was like, I mean, that was so fucking long ago, man. Like, I don't even think about
even-
that
yeah,
shit
you don't
anymore.
even
That was like a decade ago. I like struggle. Some people are like, "This is my story," blah blah blah. I'm like, I can't even remember
Do
my
you-
fucking
do
story.
you like-
It's just so unimportant to
Do you
me.
like telling your story?
No.
Yeah, I don't too. Because I get the same way you are
Yeah.
with having to tell your story. People do to me with the alien story. With
now I feel like I
sea-
have to.
with the seeing aliens. Like, oh,
Now I
I
have-
have to. This is
We
one
just
thing.
named the school so they
This
can
is
Google
one
it.
thing. Ariel, there we go. Actually, go listen to Macrodosing. Macrodosing
Okay.
with PFT and Arian Foster. They had me on there.
There's one
Listen to that.
school in Africa, in Zimbabwe, that had like a legit alien sighting, and Za was
It
one
just
of the kids who
it
saw
just
the
so
aliens.
happens to be the school that it's such an
They're
obscure
real?
story. But go listen to that. Yeah.
You don't think it was a government thing?
I mean, you're looking at one right here.
You,
You're
you don't
looking-
think it was a
you're looking
government
at
thing?
one.
A
You're
government,
looking at one right
a
here.
secret government plane?
The CIA all over everything.
There you go.
They're always over everything.
Next week we're doing conspiracy theories with cousin producer. All right, Za, thanks for coming
At the
on.
Midget Zimbo. Thank you. That's everywhere, by the way. Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and also listen to back again if we have any out and about soccer folks.
Love it.
Listen
Love
to back
keep- lo-
again at the Midget Zimbo. Thank you for having me.
Love it. Talk to you soon, Za.
Peace.
That was fine, right?
I feel like I was too serious.